this computer.
Okay, please.
Okay, so we're going to start with Gayatri Mantra plus per Billu's request. So okay, so let's first go through what the Gayatri Mantra is, the way it is written, and then I'll break it up. Okay? Like I told Billu, I've researched this. So
Mm,
you're going to get the full dose.
mm.
So the Gayatri Mantra is Om Bhur Bhuvaha Swaha. Can you see it here?
Yeah.
Om Bhur Bhuvaha Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat. Okay. So now, like any other Sanskrit mantra, these are all words are in Sanskrit, words are jumbled up and they are arranged so that they can sound better. Like instead of saying I hit him, they sometimes say him hit I. It means the same. But in Sanskrit, you can do that because of the way Sanskrit language is. So, so to understand this mantra, we have to first break it up into its different words and then rearrange them in a way that makes sense to us from a like being Hindi speakers and English speakers. So when somebody says bhur, it actually means bhuhu. So when bhuhu is connected with bhuvaha, then it becomes bhur bhuvaha. The visarg becomes a r. That's just a sandhi rule. So if you break up this om bhur bhuvaha swaha, then the top line becomes om bhuhu bhuvaha swaha. Okay? And bhuvaha means dharti, the land, the earth which is beneath our earth, beneath our feet. Bhuvaha means antariksh. It's not deep space, it means immediate near space. The atmosphere and the space above us. Swaha means heavens, the heavenly lokas. And Bhuvaha is therefore the place, the space between the earth and the heavens. So when he says Om Bhuhu Bhuvaha Swaha or Om Bhur Bhuvaha Swaha, he's saying he's invoking all these three. He's giving you the domain of this mantra. That what he's going to talk about in this mantra applies to everything. It applies to this world, it applies to the Swarg, which is the heavens, and it applies to everything in between also. So he's saying it's a comprehensive mantra. He's talking about something which is comprehensive. So that's just setting the context. Then the next line is Tat Savitur Varenyam. And actually, you should read the whole thing together. Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. And if you now break this up and rearrange it, what I've done is I've taken Devasya and put Devasya and Savituhu. So Tat is Tat. Tat means that. Savituhu, it says here Savitur, right? Tat Savitur. So Savitur means Savituhu. Like I said, the Visarg becomes Ra. So it's Tat Savituhu Varenyam. That's a word. Then Bhargo, the word is actually Bhargaha. Again, it's a Sandhi rule. When Bhargaha Sandhi is followed by a the, it becomes Bhargo. So Bhargaha Devasya Dhimahi. So if you rearrange the words, it becomes Devasya Savituhu Varenyam Bhargaha Tat Dhimahi. Okay, and this I will explain to you. So the main word here, the key thing here is Bhargaha. So what is Bhargaha? Bhargaha means radiance, Tej. Tej, radiance, effulgence. So he's saying Bhargaha Dhimahi. Dhimahi means we meditate upon. It should be Vayam Bhargaha Dhimahi because Vayam is we, but in Sanskrit you don't have to say Vayam. Dhimahi automatically means it means we. Or if it was Dhimati, for example, it means he meditates. So you don't have to say these things. It's understood. So Bhargaha Dhimahi means we meditate upon the Bhargaha, on the radiance. And when you say Bhargaha Tat Dhimahi, I meditate on the radiance, that radiance. He's emphasizing that radiance and saying, we meditate upon that radiance. Now, what radiance is this? There's an adjective to the radiance, it's called Varenyam. Varenyam means that which is worthy of being desired, worthy of being wanted. So whenever these words, आपको पता है जैसे कहते हैं हम दर्शनीय, दर्शनीय एक दर्शनीय नजारा देखा. So दर्शनीय means that which is worthy of being seen, worthy of being darshaned. Vareniyam means worthy of being vru dhatu, which means it is something which is worthy of being desired. So this bhargaha is something which is worthy of being desired. And some people even translate it to say worthy of being worshipped. You know, it's a very pious, it's a very desirable, it's a very good, benign, good bhargaha, good तेज. एंड किसका तेज है ये तेज है देवस्य सवितुहु. सवितुहु का तेज है. सवितुहु क्या है? सवितुहु मीन्स it's a declension. So सवितुहु मीन्स ऑफ सवित्री. आपने सवित्री सुना है? सवित्री, सावित्री जैसे नाम होता है ना. So what does सवित्री मीन? Anybody knows? सवित्री मीन्स द सन. लाइक हमारी सवित्री मासी थी. सवित्री मीन्स सन. इट एक्चुअली मीन्स सूरज देवता. The Not just the sun, it's the devta behind the suraj, because all in our Vedic system everything has a devta. So that's why we don't worship the sun, we worship the devta, which is the intelligence in the sun. So savituhu means of the sun, and devasya means it's describing savituhu. It's saying devasya means divine. So this bhargaha is the very desirable tej of the divine sun. So we meditate upon that tat, very desirable tej or effulgence or radiance of the divine sun. That's what he's saying, this line. Okay. Then he says, Yaha naha dhiyaha prachodayat. So यह जैसे तत् means that, वो हिंदी में वो कहते हैं. यह means which और that जो. So पहले बोलता है कि हमने वो तेज के ऊपर हमने मेडिटेट करा. फिर बताता है वो कौन सा तेज जो यह नह हमको हमारा धियह. धियह मीन्स इंटेलिजेंस. So similarly, this dhiyo becomes dhiyaha, yo is yaha, naha is naha prachodayat. Right? So जैसे यहाँ पे मैंने आपको बताया था ना, this means actually the word is dhiyaha and this is yaha. So जो हमारा इंटेलिजेंस प्रचोदयात. प्रचोदयात का मतलब propels up. So prachodat would have meant propelled up. Prachodayat means which causes our intelligence to be propelled up. That means this meditation on the radiance of the sun, it it causes our intelligence to be raised to higher and higher levels, to be thrown up to higher levels. Like with a with some pressure, with some force, it gets thrown up to higher levels. So just to kind of again say this again, he's again now saying bhur bhuva swaha. That means this radiance of the sun is everywhere in the prithvi, in the intermediate space, in the heavens. This radiance is the most desirable radiance of the devasya savituhu, of the divine sun, that we meditate on that, and by doing so our intelligence is raised to new levels of consciousness, to higher and higher levels. That's what this mantra means. Okay, so for a samsari, it's like saying meditate on the tej of the sun, meditate on the sun devta and its tej, which is it's supposed to be the biggest thing, because Vedas recognize that the sun is the foundation of everything. Without the sun, there is no life. Without the sun, there is no plants. No plants, no herbivorous animals. No herbivorous animals, no carnivorous animals, no life. So sun is the life-giving thing. So it's the most basic thing. And not just the sun, it's not the sun which is the life-giving thing. It's the heat of the sun, the light of the sun, which actually is the life-giving thing. It's the light which reaches us, the heat. So the energy. So you meditate on that energy, and that is the most profound meditation. That's what it says. So far, so good, because I'm going to give you one more interpretation. This is understood, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is for a samsari, but for a karam yogi, you should look at it differently. Because in Vedas, when we say the light of the sun, the radiance of the sun, it usually means Brahman or Atma. That is the that is the indicator. हमेशा जब भी आप देखोगे, जब भी एग्जांपल्स देते हैं ना कि आत्मा कैसी है, सो दे से आत्मा इज लाइक द सनलाइट which shines on everything equally, and it's everywhere. It's not, it's everywhere, all present, that kind of a thing. So here, the sunlight, this radiance, bhargaha, it actually means um, your atma or Brahman. Now he's saying this atma is the basis of everything. Bhur bhuva swaha. Like Brahman को हम कहते हैं ना, it is उसके बिना कुछ नहीं है. The whole creation is based on the Brahman. And we should meditate on this divine Brahman because it's the Savituhu Bhargaha. We should meditate on that. And if we meditate on this divine Brahman, our intelligence will be prachodayat, meaning we will be given moksha. We will reach a level of consciousness which is higher than anything we've experienced. So this can be seen as a mantra for Nidhi Dhyasana. Nidhi Dhyasana is the what you do when you meditate upon Brahman or on Atma. Okay? So that's basically Gayatri Mantra.
Why do we say Om in front of everything?
Yeah, that's a good one. They always say Om, like in everything, even if you remember the previous जो हमने last time करा था, um, Om Kam Yajamahe. Because two reasons, one because every all these mantras have to start with something auspicious. So even if you read a book, na Sanskrit की किताब, उसमें the first word is always either Om or sometimes they write Atha, which is also another auspicious word, or Pranava. Pranava means also Om. So you write start with a word or dharma, something like that. Like dharam kshetre kurukshetre. That's how Gita starts, right? So you have to write an auspicious word. And the second thing about Om is that Om indicates the entire cosmos. It means like u, ma, right? Those three sounds, they indicate everything. They indicate the creation, the dissolution, the maintenance, everything. The three states of being, sleeping, waking, all of that. So is a very auspicious, loaded word in Indian language, which can indicate a lot of different things, all auspicious things. But they all ultimately point to Atma. They all point to Brahman. So Om is a synonym for Brahman, which is the most pious thing. So everything starts with Om. Another thing I found, this swaha is different from swaha. जो हम करते हैं ना पूजा में स्वाहा, we put some शादियों में we put something in the fire and then say swaha. This is swaha. So that swaha means, like it's just an exclamation to say, oh, we gave it with full open heart. This swaha means um, heavens.
So either you interpret it as the effulgence of the sun, or you interpret it as the effulgence of the Brahman.
Yes, of the Atma. But better to do the latter. Better for us because of what we are doing and what we are studying and everything. For us, we want to, we will be encouraged to think about it as Atma,
Mhm.
as Brahman. But for a person who has no understanding of Atma or doesn't, hasn't studied anything, he won't understand what that means. So most people do, Surya Namaskar karte hain, that kind of thing.
What does Visarg mean?
Visarg is those two dots.
Oh, that's called Visarg.
That's
Okay.
called Visarg.
Okay.
It just extends the vowel. So अगर स्वह यहाँ पे भू है, भू के बाद विसर्ग है तो भूहू, राइट?
Yeah.
अगर ते के बाद विसर्ग होता तो ते हे,
Yeah.
तई के बाद है तो तई ही, इट्स लाइक इट जस्ट एक्सटेंड्स द वावल.
Got it.
So this is Naha, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Billu, you got what you wanted plus more.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I meditate on my divine.
Yes, you meditate on the Suraj Bhagwan ji. All right, so I'm going to shut this off. So what should we talk about today?
Mhm.
अभी तक हमने इतना कर्म योगा की बातें करी हैं. What if, what do you guys feel? We can take a little pause and you think any of it is doable or सब ऐसे ही है?
Mhm.
Billu, please speak.
Yes, yes.
We are going to start with you today.
No, no, absolutely. I'm there
No,
listening.
no, you talk also. No, no, don't
It's
just
nice to
listen.
listen,
No, you talk now.
not speak.
Today is my holiday.
Mm. Yes, doable,
Doable.
but difficult.
So
But we need to try.
what have you like? You know, there's another way to think about Karma Yoga. Hmm? So, for example, हम कहते हैं ना actually the base of all this, जो सारी की इसकी at the end of it हम क्या कर रहे हैं? जो शुरू में बताया था ना गीता में कि we our happiness is within us, right? Our self is our happiness, and we are looking outside. And Karam Yoga is trying to get us through a discipline into the habit of
Being happy with oneself.
yeah with oneself, right? That is basically the idea of Karam Yoga. So one way to think about it is, you know, um, that if I was to ask you the self which we are looking for, ये कहाँ है? What would you say? Where is the self? Can you
अपने
point
अंदर,
your finger to the self?
अपने अंदर,
अपने अंदर कहाँ पे?
all over.
Can you, is it in the head or in the chest?
In the head.
In the head. You know, there was a exercise एक उसने करी थी, वो कहता है one Swami. He said start with the band which is as wide as your body and as on top of the head and bottom of the feet. So it's a square. You can put your body around him. So he said, is the self within that square somewhere?
Mhm.
So the children said, okay, yeah. The student said yes. So he said, okay, now just compress it a little bit. Make it like a few centimeters inside. Make the square a little bit smaller than the body. Is the self now within that or in your body outside that box, right? So if you do this exercise, you start figuring out kahan hai self, you know. Is it my head? Is it my chest? Is it my hands? Is it kind of outside my body somewhere, you know, tagging along with me? Where is this self?
All over.
All over the body?
All over, everywhere.
Everywhere, you know. It's like the only thing we can say because it's impossible to say where the self is.
Mm-hmm.
Like what part of me is there which if it goes away, my self is gone. Like मेरी आंखें तो मेरी आंखों के lenses तो अब because of cataract मेरे change हो चुके हैं. And कल को so many people get their legs changed. People get their arms changed. In fact,
Heart
every
also
cell of our
changes.
body gets dies and change what is it called? Renewed every 7 years or something. They say the whole body gets renewed. So where is the self? You know, that's the question.
It's abstract.
It's abstract. But it's connected with the body. We say if the body is gone, if the whole body goes away, like if half my body goes and it's replaced, it's okay. You know, I can still, my heart also I can change through heart transplant and the self will still be the same. In fact, I'm sure parts of the brain also because some people have lobotomies and all that. But if the whole body goes, then the self is gone.
The only part they haven't changed is the brain. The liver, the kidneys, the heart, all can be transplanted.
Yeah. Brain also, some portions of it, they have not changed but removed, right?
Removed, but that's
Yeah.
not the same as changing.
But does it remove this? Does it remove the self?
So that means the self is in the brain.
Hmm. Actually, the thing is, What Vedanta says is that it is, like Didi said, it's impossible to understand kahan hai. So the only thing you can say is the self is here. Here. What is this here? Actually, what is here? Can you tell where here is?
Heart.
When I ask you
When
where
you
is
say
here?
here, it's basically the heart.
So just forget self. I just ask you where is here? Can you pinpoint here?
You're asking too many abstract questions, Nitu.
Yeah,
I
I know.
know.
Today is abstract
Yeah.
question day. But it is important to understand where is here.
But
Yeah.
basically, you mean when you say that you have to be happy in yourself means when you're just sitting and be content with yourself, not looking for pleasure outside, and
But
just
yeah.
be
But
santusht, be at peace,
you
be
know
calm. Hmm.
you humor me. Just go along with me for a little bit.
Hmm.
Huh? So we don't know where hair is also really, because you can't
Hmm.
really pinpoint hair is inside your body somewhere or where, right? But we just know that here. We know the self is here. Now, if I was to ask you, you can say self is not there, but it's here. Let's say Billu is sitting in India in her drawing room in Delhi, and she says herself is not in America because that is there in San Francisco and where I am, but Billu's self is in Delhi. So now if Billu goes from Delhi to San Francisco, is Billu actually going anywhere from here? Like, let's say Billu को जाना है, तो Billu will call a cab or call her driver, then she'll sit in the car. So when Billu is sitting in the car, is she there or here?
Then she's in the car.
Yeah, but is she there or here? As far as Billu
She's
is
there.
concerned, where are you?
I'm here only. I'm in
Here
the
only,
car.
right?
I'm here.
Then you go from the car and go sit into the airplane.
Then I'm in the aircraft, in the
Yes, but as
plane.
far as you are concerned,
Then I'm
you are
here in
still
the
here,
aircraft.
but you are still here. Then the aircraft becomes here.
Yeah.
Right.
For what I'm trying to say is, we
It's
think
relative.
it's all relative. We are always here. No matter where you go, if I have to say, where is Billu? Where is Billu's Atma? You cannot say where exactly it is, because if you try to say it is in my head, here, you can't really say. But you can always say that it's always here.
Hmm.
It is never anywhere else but here. You see what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
actually, the Atma has never moved. It has, what has it done? It's always been here. Billu's body has moved from one place to the other, but as far as the Atma is concerned, उसने क्या करा है? वो बैठी हुई है प्लेन के अंदर, प्लेन मूव करता जा रहा है. It's always here. Like,
So it's with
let me,
me,
let me,
no? Wherever I am, it is there.
wherever you are, it is there. But
So it's moving with me.
no, it's not moving. It's always here. Is what I'm saying. It's always you never even right now you don't even know where it is. But you're saying it's moving with you. All you know is that it's here. Like think about, okay, let's do another exercise. One more and then we are done. Let's think about time. Okay? You're having an experience. Let's say you're seeing me, you're having this. When are you having this experience? Can you locate the time when you're having this experience?
Now.
Now, right? It's here and now. You're having it here and you're having it now. But when is this now? Is it
Right
like,
now.
let's say
Right now.
right now? But when? Like, can you locate the precise second?
Yeah, 10 o'clock it started.
At 10 o'clock, what? 10 minutes, 10 hours, uh, 0 minutes. But right now, what is the time? Because kitna bhi karegi, there'll be a duration to the now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can make it shorter and shorter and shorter. How, it still be now,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can cut the time into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces, but it'll still be now. So you really can't actually say what now is. If you have a watch which only tells you hours, then you'll say what 10 baje. If you have a watch which says which gives you minutes also, then you'll say 10 बज के 1 मिनट पे हुआ है now अब है.
Mm-hmm.
If it gives you seconds also, then you'll say 10 बज के 1 मिनट और 1 सेकंड पे है.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have a watch which gives you microseconds, then you'll say 10 बज के 1 मिनट 1 सेकंड 1 microsecond पे है. You can keep going further, but you can never really get to the precise now. one nanosecond before that becomes the past.
Hmm.
One nanosecond after that becomes the future.
Hmm.
So what is the now? You really think about it. But we have no doubt whatsoever that I am living now. All this experience is happening now. There is no question about it. We have no doubt. But we cannot pinpoint exactly when this now is. Similarly, we have no doubt that my experience is here. I am here. But we cannot pinpoint exactly where that here is.
Hmm.
Correct? So,
Yeah.
the point I was trying to make was this time and space is a very relative thing. We think about it as an absolute, but it's very relative. आप टाइम का सोच रहे हो, let's say you we अभी सो जाओ and have a dream. All of a sudden there'll be a new time that has started for you in the dream. And once the dream is over, that time is gone. And you'll wake up and suddenly say, oh, that was a different time. मैं सोच रही थी मैं 50 साल की हूँ and अभी तो मैं 60 years की हूँ. Right? It's like it's time is just a thought. That's what Vedanta says. Just like dream time is a thought, actual time is also a thought. In fact, Einstein has shown us that time is totally relative. Where you are depends on what your time is and who you're looking at and who's looking at you. That's what determines time. And space also. Space can be larger and smaller, right? But the point is, the main point of this whole thing is that the self is always here and now. That's what is the key thing to understand.
I never understood the theory of relativity.
It's okay, Didi. I mean, it's nobody can understand it. We just know what it says, but nobody really understands it. It's impossible to understand because it's in 4 dimensions. We can't think in 4 dimensions. We can't conceive.
So the point you made just now was, again, repeat one more time.
Yeah. Yeah.
The point I made was that everything we know, every moment, every experience is happening in the here and now. And
Uh-huh.
whenever we think, whenever we are thinking we are either going in the past or going in the future. When you're worried, when you're anxious, you're always going in the future. If I was to ask you, do you have any problem just now, at this exact moment, do you have a problem? If you narrow it down, you'll say, no, no, right now I don't have a problem. But my fear is that something bad is going to happen. That's in the future. That's a thought.
Hmm.
Right now, there's no problem. Or you'll say, somebody did something bad to me in the past.
Hmm.
You're remembering it, right? You can't think present. How can you think about the here and now? You don't even know when the here and now is. There's no question of a thought in the here and now. Thinking only takes you either to the future or to the past.
Mm.
Okay, so once you first, this is the first thing to understand that our experiences are happening in the here and now, but when we think, we are going into the past or the future. And now, everybody says your happiness is sourced from the self. So where is the self? In the here and now? We just figured out that's where the experience is, that's where the self is. It's always here, it's always now. So, can you ever reach the self by thinking about something or doing something or planning something? Or there's no way. The self is right here, right now. So, if you want to tap into what Vedanta tells you is the source of your happiness, you have to be right now, right here. But it's very difficult to be, right? It's very difficult to be in the here and now because you try to be in the here and now and suddenly a thought will prop up and the thought will take you either to the past or the future. There's no way. You're going either on the two directions you're going. Either you'll think about something that happened, good thing happened, bad thing happened, or you'll think about something that's going to happen, good thing or bad thing. So you're always, our mind is always, it's just geared to go here or there. So all spiritual sadhana, bhakti, karam yoga, Gyan yoga, ye yoga, way yoga, whatever, is basically geared to get you into the present, into the here and now.
So it means all the time be present there and then.
Yes, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to think. You're just here, right? Think if you're in the right now, you'll never have a problem. Never. There is no problem in the now. All our problems are either in the past or the future. That's what it's saying. So now Karam Yoga ka dekho. But do you get this first of all?
Somewhat.
So yeah, that's fine. Somewhat. Even I get it somewhat only.
Mm.
I can say it better than you, but I get it only that much as you get.
So is that
Yeah.
what mindfulness is, basically?
Absolutely. That's what mindfulness is. Just be here. Karam Yoga is nothing but mindfulness. See, what is Karam Yoga? Karam Yoga कहता है फल को मत सोचो. फल कहाँ होता है? फल तो फ्यूचर में होता
Future में.
है ना? फल is always in the future. You're keeping on thinking मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, काम कर रहा हूँ, काम कर रहा हूँ, मुझे फ्यूचर में कुछ मिलेगा. That's a फल. But where is the action?
Now.
Now, right? So it's telling you focus on the action. It's in the now. It's your because you can't just sit and be in the now because you're too restless, too restless. You have to do something. So it's saying then, okay, do something, fine, but focus on the doing so that it brings your mind to the present. And see, there's a pleasure in the doing. There's a happiness in the present. Forget about the results. Leave them to God. That's another way of saying leave them to God. Because there's nothing you can do anyway, and they're out in the future. So if you believe in God, then leave them to God. If you don't believe in God, then stay in the present. Basically, that's the idea. So Karam Yoga is also saying the same thing. It's saying it's the most basic way of saying training your mind to be in the present. Just focus on the work at hand. Focus on what needs to be done. Do that without thinking too much about इससे मुझे क्या मिलेगा, ये ठीक होगा, बुरा होगा, वो होगा. Because then you get mired into the future or the past. And that's another way of looking at Karma Yoga, is what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, that's what a Karma Yogi becomes. When you start focusing only on the work, even if you don't realize it, you start getting into the present. You stop thinking about the results, stop thinking about the future. You force your mind to slowly train your mind, rather, train it to be in the present, be in the present, be in the present. A mind which is always in the present then suddenly starts feeling the happiness of the present, the satisfaction of the present, and then it becomes open. It becomes open to all kinds of spiritual insights and ideas and thoughts and all the things that Gita says. It all gets open. But a mind which is always going ahead, आगे की सोचता रहता है, उसके पास कोई टाइम ही नहीं है, it's not equipped to think about Atma. To go deeper into the present. Atma means you go deeper into the present, deeper and deeper into the present, more and more into
Yeah.
the present. That's all Atma is.
The bandas who are very hyper, for them it is very difficult to focus on the
Exactly. So
present.
उनके लिए कर्म योग is very important.
उनके लिए to sit and I know that is why they say to then it is very essential to sit and meditate and think about right now and don't let any thoughts come in from
Correct.
future or past. Sit and concentrate
So in the
on
Gita,
self.
the sequence is given is कि जो बहुत हाइपर होते हैं ना लोग,
Hmm.
बहुत ज्यादा, वो कोशिश भी करें मेडिटेट करने की, वो मेडिटेट नहीं होगा उनसे,
नहीं होता.
है ना?
True.
So उनको
Because
कहते
the
हैं
mind is
before you
so
start
agile,
doing the
it's all the
meditation,
time. Yeah,
हाँ,
the mind is all the time running
correct.
here
So
and there.
before you start doing meditation, because you're so hyper, you're used to acting, do Karam Yoga. Because Karam Yoga may at least you're doing something. But in Karam
Hmm.
Yoga, at least it's easier because they say, okay, since you're doing something, but focus on the action. That is kind of a way of training your mind to be in the present.
Hmm.
It's easier for them once you made some progress in Karam Yoga, then you go to meditation. So, in fact, in Gita, chapter 5, that it's all through 2, 3, 4, 5 is all Karam Yoga, and then chapter 6 after that is meditation. But that's the way to think about it. Otherwise, you just do meditation and kuch, you'll just give up after a while because you're so prone to doing something. You want to do something, you want to get up and do something, right? And there are some people जो जो they are so full of emotion. उनको कहते हैं ओके ठीक है, आप भी कर्म योगा करो. आपका कर्म योगा स्लाइटली वेरिएशन है उसमें कि आप भगवान को याद करो, भगवान के साथ प्यार करो, rather than going all over the place. Then at least your love and affection is channeled into one thing, and that also steadies the mind a little bit. And then once your mind is steadied more and more, then you do meditation. Then you can do this. ये जो meditation है ना, ये जो गायत्री मंत्र है, it's a meditation. है ना? We meditate upon the Atma. That meditation you do after you've done Karam Yoga, because that is Nidhi Dhyasana. कि मेरी जो आत्मा है उस पर मैं मेडिटेट करूंगा, उस पर मैं सोचूं, हम सोचेंगे, उससे हमारी जो बुद्धि है वो और ऊपर निकल जाएगी, पहुंच जाएगी. दैट्स व्हाट द मंत्र इज सेइंग. गायत्री मंत्र, इट्स अ वेरी डीप मंत्र. सो you do that after you do your karma yoga. But everything about spirituality, everything, it just comes down to this basically. Okay, stay in the present, explore the present, go deeper in the present, and you will find very, very happiness. You'll be happy.
But then you can't, matlab, you should not even plan for events which have
No,
to
no,
happen.
no. That's a good question, actually, Bilu. Very good, because it's not true. That's not correct, because you have to live in this world, right?
That is right. No, I'm also thinking of the surgery which you have to do tomorrow. Forget about it. There's no
No,
need to read Aanand ki eyes. Dafa karo
no,
बोलते हो, जो
no,
राम
no.
करदा पे.
If planning is the work that you have to do, then do
Yeah.
that work. Plan properly. Plan well. Do the work of planning. But if while planning, don't start thinking, oh my God, मेरी surgery खराब हो जाएगी, ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, गड़बड़ हो जाएगी. That is the result. But planning is an activity. So
So
an
that is
action.
also something to
Yeah,
Karam Yoga,
yeah,
action.
that's Karma Yoga. In fact, actually, Gita is also there's another shlok. I don't know whether we probably went through it when we were in chapter 2. उसमें क्या गीता में कहा था कि the Karam Yogi is like a turtle, like a tortoise. It has the ability to take its limbs out when needed and immediately bring them in when needed. So it means your senses also, you can go in the world, do whatever you need to do, but your senses are completely in your control. When it's not needed, you bring them back in. So when you need to plan, you plan, do everything.
Planning is the action.
Plan is the action. We can't do that, because we are not like tortoises. They can withdraw anytime they want. हमारा जो मन है, it has a life of its own. We don't have much control over it. So all this is to gain control. And gain control means there's only one way to gain control, which is the mind thinks it goes everywhere because it thinks its pleasure is all out there, wherever it's going. So it's going searching for pleasure. But if you थोड़ा सा डिसिप्लिन करके थोड़ी देर के लिए bring it back here, then it will start seeing यहाँ पे भी pleasure है, right? And then next time it goes out, it's easier to come back because it's realized कि थोड़ा सा pleasure अंदर भी है. Then slowly it realizes कि the internal pleasure is actually more than the external pleasure. Then it comes. It's not a matter of discipline. It's not a matter of willpower. It's a matter of knowledge. इसलिए कुत्तों को ट्रेन करते हैं ना, ऐसे ही करते हैं. You give them a little sugar or something. Horses को ट्रेन करते हैं, you give them a little sugar when they do something. Then they realize by doing this, I get some sugar. So when you kind of,
Right.
when you're in the present, when you're forcing yourself to come in the present, you get a little sugar, you get a little dopamine kick. Then next time it's easier, and then easier. Then it becomes a habit. It becomes a new habit. Instead of you don't then instinctively you're not just going out. वो पार्टी हो रही है, मेरे को जाना है, या वो मूवी आई है नहीं, let me go watch, things like that. Then you can decide, you can say, okay, I want to see, I don't want to see. You're not like just driven to it. So Karma Yoga is that training process of the mind.
So basically, Karam Yoga means that the mind cannot be in a vacuum. You are doing something.
Exactly. Karma Yoga is needed for a person who cannot, like, पहुंचे हुए जो साधु होते हैं, उनका mind can be in a vacuum also. They are there. There is no problem. But for most people like us, our mind can't be in a vacuum. It's too restless. So it has to do something. So then it says, उसको अगर तुम कहो तो meditate करो, वो you do meditation for a few here and there, then you give up, like it's impossible. या उसको कहो तुम ये सोचो इसके बारे में, ये आत्मा है, इसका सोचो, ये एनालाइज करो, जैसे बिल्लू ने कहा था. That's too much. We don't have our mind is everywhere. So for such people, then it says, Gita says, okay, you are so restless to do something, do. I'm not stopping you, do as much as you want. But what I'm asking you to do is, instead of focusing on the results, focus on the action that you're doing. So because doing is also happening in the present. So when you focus on the action you're doing, then you're in the present. You're forcing yourself to be in the present. And you'll actually find there's a lot of pleasure in doing. In doing a job well, there's a lot of pleasure, which is completely different from the pleasure of a reward. Because the pleasure of a reward comes, first of all, you don't know whether the reward is going to come or not. Second, the reward ka pleasure aata hai, it comes for some time and then it's gone. Then you're seeking for the next reward. But the pleasure of doing, like a pleasure of a person who loves music, his pleasure in playing music is a relatively permanent pleasure. It's always there in his control. Doesn't matter whether he played well or bad or whatever. His pleasure is in the learning. Just like Vedant also, it's a pleasurable thing to do, to learn it. And every time you get a new insight, then that's another dopamine kick, right? So you get lots of dopamine kicks when you're focused on the doing. But we're so used to, like, not thinking, always thinking about next step or the something which is going to happen in the future, that we ignore this pleasure of doing. And this is like, it's so true. You can look at it all around you in your life. You will see other people, yourself, us. We are all in the same boat. हम भूल जाते हैं कि there is a moment right now which is full of promise and potential. हम वो future का ही सोचते रहते हैं. Before we know it, our life is over. Thinking about the future. So
But
many
that's
presents are
niceness of
gone.
when we are sitting in the class, we are actually right now, right here,
Right.
and nowhere else.
You are?
Not behind, not in future.
Exactly.
So at least that much also at least is good. At least there's a little point of focus without a
Yes.
distraction.
And you can and then you'll say, I enjoyed the class. Because you were here in the class, it's not that the class was great, that's why you enjoyed it. You enjoyed it because you're
I'm
present.
just here.
Yeah.
Because you're present.
Anywhere where you find you're present, you'll say, oh, I enjoyed it. When you sleep also, there are no thoughts. You're always in the present, in the moment when you're sleeping. You don't realize it, but you're
I
always
love
in the
sleep.
moment. Huh?
Yeah, we enjoy our sleep.
Then you get up, oh, nice sleep. बिल्लू को तो 4:30 बजे अगर सोती नहीं है तो उसका तो मूड ही खराब हो जाता है. She needs to sleep at 4:30. It's ingrained in my head. If I go to Delhi, I know 4:30 के बाद you can't talk to me.
4:30 नहीं, need to 4.
4 हो गया. अच्छा, पहले 4:30 होता था एक टाइम.
4:30 is too late.
अच्छा. No, I remember because once we went to GK, you had to come back after lunch. Maybe you gave me a half-hour allowance.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you would come, that's why I said, chalo, make it
कोई बात
4:30.
नहीं. So that's another angle at Karam Yoga. To me, it's it makes it more
Interesting.
interesting, yeah.
Practical.
Practical, right, exactly. You don't have to think about God. You don't have to think about religion, none of those things.
Be in the moment.
So when some people plug their ears and constantly just listen to music, are they thinking about anything or not thinking about anything? I mean, life is going on around them. It doesn't bother them.
They don't think
You're
about
thinking
anything,
about our
maybe.
children?
Huh?
You're thinking about our children?
No, I'm thinking about someone else.
She's thinking of me.
What do you think?
About Suresh Bhaiya.
You're also a child, Suresh Bhaiya, unke liye.
About Suresh Bhaiya.
Because I do listen to music while I'm working. That's why.
Yeah.
Not working.
But actually
Not
speaking,
working.
Didi, I admire some people who can do that. I mean, as I know myself, I've got a very hyper mind. But then when I do see Rajiv just sitting so content, could not be bothered about what is going to happen, what is supposed to happen. It's a quality which very few people have.
Yeah, but then you know what?
Actually,
The worry is all on the person's shoulder.
on the other person. Yeah, because that's what I'm saying now. You just sometimes wonder how a person can do it, but well, I guess he's enjoying the moment and for him it's great, not too great for me because yes, then the other person is, but it is a quality which is very quite rare. Not very many people can do it, and if you can do it, I would actually love to be in that state when I can just sit and not let my mind wander so much. It's all the time wandering. It's so difficult to put it down that it's really hyper mind how to make it settle down. So it's good that at least ਅੱਧਾ ਪੌਣਾ ਘੰਟਾ ਕਲਾਸ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਪੂਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ I had to go to pick up my drops because my alarm was ringing it's not that you're all the time ਪੂਰਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘੰਟਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ because there are actually speaking so many worldly things which are happening around you which make you do which make you distract your mind
Right.
and they don't let you concentrate and be there just there.
Yeah. But if you know ना बिल्लू, see what happens is पहले हमको पता भी नहीं था कि हमको लगता था कि the fact that I am thinking so far ahead is a great thing because I can plan
Yeah.
ahead. I can now our mindset is changing. We are thinking
Yeah.
maybe it's a good thing to be in the moment. So once
Yeah.
that seed is there, na, then slowly, it might change behavior over time.
Because you have realized
You
actually
realize, right?
I think with our lives this thing experiences you have
Right.
realized that as much as you may think your thinking is not going to change what is going to happen it is going to
Absolutely.
happen what is to happen
Yes.
so you stop thinking about it.
That's why the readiness is life experiences. First, you have to have those life experiences so that you realize that much.
Yeah.
Then all this is possible.
But below, it's not, I think, even to realize that your mind is, moving and very mobile. Like that realization is also something. It's not everyone even knows that your mind, that my mind
I know
is,
that I
I
know
know,
about
but I'm
myself that
saying
I have
that,
got such a hyper mind that it is
but that
so
is
difficult
something.
to focus on anything. Only time when you focus and you forget about everything is when you are in the operation theater and you are in the surgery.
Right.
I guess the only
Yeah,
time
yeah.
when, because you've got another person's life at hand, that you cannot think about anything else.
Yeah.
But the minute you come out and into your car, again, all the thoughts start coming.
So that is
But
Karam Yog.
at
You know
least
what
you
you're
know
doing in the
that.
surgery is Karam Yog.
Yeah, well, that is just then only a little minuscule part of the life. And then what about the remaining part? So you need to, I mean, if you
Some
can do
people, there was a मैंने पढ़ा था कहीं पे, the psychology of people who do these jumping, they jump from high up from an airplane and they do these risky
but
things.
yeah,
Not bungee jumping necessarily, but even the jumping with parachutes on and
yeah.
skydiving and things like that.
Mm.
Like they are sometimes people are so restless that the only time that they find their mind is focused is when they are facing a life and death situation.
Oof.
So they go for these life and death situations because then at least at that time they feel I'm focused. I mean, I have to be focused because if I make a mistake, I'm done. Right?
Mm.
So that is where they get their peace. It's like a addiction. Doing risky things and facing risk all the time. That's the state of our mind. Sorry, Kiki, you were going to say something. I think I interrupted.
No, not at all. I was just saying that there was a time I was saying Billu should give herself some credit because I know that there was a time in my life I didn't even know my mind was restless. I didn't even know it. So to even cognize that I have a restless mind is growth, in my opinion. So I'm just saying, give yourself credit, Billu.
Chalo, thank you for
Should we
saying
give her
that.
a
Makes
round of
me feel a
applause,
little
Kiki?
better.
Should we
Yes.
give you a round of applause? Huh?
Well done.
Good. Makes me feel a little better. I don't know if I am the only one. I think there are many people like me.
All of us are like that, Billu.
Yeah.
You're not the only
That's
one.
something that's been talking about my sisters. We're not the same.
No, sisters, brothers, we come from a family of high thinkers. Not of thinkers, high
I don't
thinking.
know about high thinkers, but about stupid thinkers.
About a lot
So
new
Bittu
thinking.
Bhaiya, though, at least all the time he's focused on his work. So he's doing his Karam Yoga
Who?
all the time.
Billu,
Oh, Bittu
he
Bhaiya.
is a saint. Billu, na, nothing worries him. Nothing. matlab, he's a doer. You are right. He says, "अच्छा ऐसा करना है करो." That's it. That's it.
Ah.
He doesn't worry कि अच्छा क्यों होएगा या क्यों होएगा. He says, "Let's just do what we can do, and that's it."
Yeah.
What are the thoughts on Karam Yoga?
Victor, I really enjoyed how this connection between mindfulness and karma yoga. I had never thought of that before. It's so nice to think of that.
My mind also keeps wandering. It keeps wandering in these things only. I keep thinking this is connected to this, and then I connect this to this, and then I connect this to that. So, I asked ChatGPT. I said, मैं ChatGPT पे ना, I've been like for the past 3 months, I've been hugely into ChatGPT. Everything I've asked it all kinds of questions. I know all about AI now, artificial intelligence. I've started building क्या कहते हैं, a tool for investing, helping with investing. So मैंने
Wow.
पूछा ChatGPT को, मैंने कहा, now you know me for a long time. What do you think? Give me some good points and bad points. Oh my God, it was so insightful, yeah.
Well,
Really?
like
It's like,
what?
yeah,
How?
it gave me a whole potha.
How?
And Monica, then I asked her, I said, are you just winging it or is there any basis behind it? And ChatGPT said, no, I'm not winging it. In your case, I have complete basis. Then it gave me reasons. This at that time you said this, at this time you said this, this is how
Oh
you
my
did it.
God.
It has all my history. So
Oh,
that's why I'm saying
wow.
this is what you are.
So all the questions you asked Chat GPT were on the same theme?
Not on the same thing, but I keep discussing. It's a
Related.
chats. I have long chats. And ChatGPT, you can even chat with it about psychology. It's remarkable what it can do. And its insights on the assessment were completely, I was blown away.
So true.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
true and so accurate and so insightful. It told
But
me,
how did
like
it get
today, by the
that?
way,
How did
today
it get?
my, huh?
How did it get that?
I'm telling you, Didi,
From
because
the
it doesn't
questions you
only deal with
asked.
me. It deals with millions and hundreds and millions and billions of people.
Yeah.
So it has a calibration. It
Yeah.
knows what a person, like it has an understanding of so many different people and how their responses are, what questions they ask, how deep they go, all that it sees. So it can give you that insight.
Mm.
So one thing it told me, it said you are a type 5. There's a particular grid. I don't want to go into too much detail. It's got type 5. It said you're an architect, you're a systems thinker. You connect things. So it said how you connected different points of Vedanta in my articles. Then I talk about Vedanta, then I asked it about investments, and I asked it about some AI and all. So she says, you're thinking around, you're connecting things. And thinkers like you, they have a problem in Vedanta. The problem is when you start teaching, you think everybody thinks like you. So you start, बिल्लू ने भी मुझे यही कहा था. So you start thinking and teaching also. कहता है, you have to give space. You say something and be quiet.
Mm.
And don't have an agenda every time that I have to teach this. So today I said, let me try differently. So actually, literally, I tried differently. I didn't have an agenda, and I thought, let me see, how it goes. So just go, trust your knowledge, and go with the flow. So that was the advice it gave me. Can you imagine?
Quite amazing.
Totally amazing. I'm telling you, AI is going to change this world.
Yeah,
This
really.
is, it's
I don't know
it's
whether for the
coming.
better or for the worse.
Why for the worse? I mean, maybe for the worse, but technology changes are always there. This is bigger than anything that I can think of. Anyway,
Yeah.
I want to give you an example of teaching and stop.
yeah,
You said the thing.
right,
This was my first lesson in sales years back.
yeah,
I kept on talking.
yeah,
Blah, blah, blah. On. The guy I was trying to sell to didn't listen to a damn thing. Okay.
yeah.
I came back. I thought I'll have that order in my pocket. Didn't get the order. So I went back to him. I said, what happened that you didn't give me the order? He said, you spoke so much, I didn't understand what you're trying to tell me.
And you never listen to what I have to say.
Yeah, he said. So your point is very correct that when you teach, if it doesn't sink in me,
Yeah,
I'm not listening to you. I am just saying, kya baat kar raha hai ye?
yeah,
Chalu hai. Huh? Same thing applied. This was 45 years ago in sales.
yeah,
I learned that lesson at that time.
yeah,
Right. And when I make presentations, just like you're doing, I always stop. Everybody looking at me. I says, hey, I'm trying to understand. Did you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
yeah. Right, right.
So that is the key. What you said is the teacher has to stop for a minute to say what's going on. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, you are going on. It's like
True. Very
it's like a movie you're trying to connect and you don't understand the word and you said "Kya bola usne?" You going on, okay? Same thing applies, but no, I agree with that 100% that you have to stop.
But and also what it says, the other interesting thing was that it gave me when I asked it actually gave me something called an Enneagram. So Enneagram is a framework of 9 different types. And
Okay.
it told me I'm type 5. So this thing that we get immersed in the frameworks and the intellectual part of the theory, and we think that everybody needs to understand the whole thing just the way we understand it. That's a problem with type 5s. But others have different problems. So maybe you and I have a tendency to talk a lot. So that was but some people, they may have to learn a different lesson. They may not be talking enough or something else, right? So there are different, depending on what your type is. Some people talk all over the place. They can't connect anything, right? But it's not that they're wrong. It's just a different way of learning. So this was just trying to say how, knowing your type, you have to see what pitfalls are there in front of you and alert yourself. It's just, it came at the right time because I was ready to listen. That's why I asked. And it gave me the feedback at the time when I was willing to listen. नहीं तो ये कोई नई बात नहीं है. It's just, it's very,
Yeah,
very
your
impressive.
mind has to be receptive to that too.
Right.
So you've been doing this over the last 3 months, chatting with GPT?
I think little more than that, maybe.
Mm. And in every different field?
Multiple fields, yeah.
That's why it could round up a good assessment of you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because otherwise it's very difficult to assess.
Yeah, because he doesn't have enough data
somebody's.
points, right?
Yeah.
Didi, we're not actually sure if that's Nittu or a bot, Beginning to doubt it now.
I always did think now it's just a kind of, I'm personifying my thoughts on the thing.
What it said was that a person of this type. So there are different. I have to figure out what each of you. I really want to figure out which type each of you are, so that I can adapt my teaching. But
You can adapt your teaching in this 1-hour class to 5 different types?
well, at least I
He's
should
becoming
know.
Chat GPT.
I should
He's
know.
himself
अभी तो मेरे को
becoming
पूछना
Chat
पड़ता है आपसे. I call Billu and ask her, then Billu gives me a firing. She tells me, ऐसे तू करता है, मैं बोलती है. Then I respond. Then I ask Madhu Didi. She gives me a pep talk. I don't have to do all that. Then I will kind of, I'll know. So now I have to
GPT. Was it
actually.
like this even in the childhood?
Huh?
Like this all the time? All the
All the
time
time.
thinking,
All the time.
reading?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
From the very beginning, he's been
So
the
I
learner.
got a master's in physics, and
Mm.
Nittu knows way more conceptually. His clarity in physics is way beyond mine.
That is true.
And
Yeah.
it has taken
That I
me,
can-
I am 61 now. It has taken me so long to figure out that is not the only yardstick of intelligence. Like I'm only starting to figure it out because that was always I always used to think, well, the yardstick of intelligence is like the way Nittu thinks. That's the only way.
That is
And I am only literally now starting very, very slowly to maybe think, okay, maybe that is not true.
no.
Maybe I am not
I mean, you can
stupid.
just ask ChatGPT to tell you all my problems. Give me a whole, give me a whole list.
Finding your problems is not the issue for me.
No, I'm just saying.
That's not
Yeah,
my deal.
well, it can give you yours also.
Yes.
But
But he's always been somebody who's been, very much delving deep into everything. Well, I've also seen him, the way he interacts. One big quality of his is he'll go and chat with everybody.
no. Okay.
He will, that is
मैं
how
recording
he
बंद कर
gains
दूंगा
the
अगर ऐसे
knowledge
हुआ तो.
from everything around him.
No, but Billu, what I was trying to say
He
was
went to the
that
ਮੰਦਿਰ ਸ਼ੰਕਰਾਚਾਰਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਮੁਸਲਿਮਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ ਗਿਆ
no,
ਦੂਜੇ
I
ਪਾਸੇ ਗਿਆ
understand.
ਰਿਕਸ਼ੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਮਾਰਦਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਗੱਪਾਂ ਮਾਰਦਾ ਰਿਹਾ
No, but there's a problem with this thing, with in Vedanta, because you have to Vedanta is about actually literally seeing what you are here right now. It's not about the conceptually thinking, right? Because that becomes That becomes a bottleneck. So for someone like me, this thinking too much becomes a barrier. Rather than feel and rather than directly experience, I have my thinking filter on. So in a way, so we all have to know what our barriers are, right? So different people have. So and Vedanta, the journey of Vedanta is you start from where you are, find out what your specific issues are which are coming in your way, and then you have to, you know, resolve those issues, somehow overcome them. And a good teacher, not me, a good teacher should be able to help you figure out what your issues are. And that is, abhi tak to meri teaching is all about just understanding Vedanta, which is a difficult concept to understand, and then sharing it. But actually, literally, what we have to do, if I was to be a good teacher, is to be able to see what exactly is holding you back. Because you are very different from me, and each one of you is different from each other. So that's the trick. And that journey you have to do yourself.
Yeah.
But a good teacher can help
But the
because a
thing
good
is
teacher
that
has experience,
before we started doing the class, sometimes you ask, no, what it is that made you come to Gita, what it is that you're looking for in life.
Right.
Actually, telling you Nitu one thing, I have actually never, these thoughts have not even occurred to me. When you started asking me these questions have never come to me well. If you say you know what your shortcomings are and what your goodnesses are, yes, you know a little bit. I know that I am a little short-tempered. I know a few of my shortcomings, and maybe I'm also considerate towards people. That is my good thing. But actually, when you ask now, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you're seeking? What I actually had never thought, those questions had never come into my mind. I never thought about that in this way.
But you are seeking, that's why you're here, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
Yeah, no, I
that
understand.
is the difference now with, attending and listening to all these things. You start actually thinking, and what is it that you're looking
But
for?
the other thing that I
But
have learned a little bit about you, right, is how you're different from me. Because I approach things very rationally. I
yeah,
have the ability to keep my emotions aside for a time being.
we are very
You
emotional.
approach things from a
Hmm.
feeling sensing perspective, which has got its own plus points, right? So to teach you, first I'll have to connect with you. First, I have to like make
Become
sure that
emotional like us.
that 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 you can trust me, that you're in a safe space. I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm not going to, like for that is very important for you. It's important for everybody, but for you, it's probably more important. I never knew that till I got a few kicks in the butt from you.
Doses.
Yeah, doses from you. Then I kind of began to realize, okay, Billu is different, you know. So
Because you know what I've realized that we were not very exposed to the saints and all in our life, because from the very beginning we were always exposed to mom and dad who were always doing Murti Puja, and it was Rajiv's family which was very much into saints, like they had complete full faith. So there was one person whom I had met very early in my married life, which is Pitaji, who was like just all the time exuding love, affection, respect. And that was something that you actually thought was what a saint was like,
correct.
right? And then there was another Uncle Ji who was in Pune who was also saintly and teaching Gita, but he used to get so angry and so upset that I would be scared to go into his class,
Right.
because he would ask questions and embarrass you. But well, one person who's my sister-in-law, Rajiv's sister, who's in Noida, she he was her saint, but she got so much from him
Right.
that come what may, dant, scoldings from her husband, to the point that she would go every time to Pune every weekend. Her husband told her once, I mean, after 50 years of married life, if you continue to do this, I'm going to divorce you. I mean, from a family like that, which was like a very close, and the divorce ka naam bhi nahi tha. And she said, I couldn't be bothered. But she got so much from him, in spite of all his scoldings and this thing, but she got from him. But we couldn't, because we were always scared about that. So it is just, I think, what your this thing
Yes.
about a saint is, and about what you can achieve from a person is, I feel that there were more people who were who attained much more from Sant Ji than they got from Uncle Ji, because Uncle Ji was very strict.
Right. No, I
But he's
understand.
got his own
I agree.
fan following. But there were people who achieved a lot from him and
Oh,
actually
I
gained
look at
so much.
Swami Dayanand Saraswati, who's the saint I know, and I've never met him, but I've read so much
about him.
His lectures, his lectures have been transcribed, his exact words. I've listened to his videos so much that I can see it. He is one person who is, like, I consider myself very philosophical. He is orders of magnitude more philosophical than me. He understands all these connections. He understands the true meaning of the teaching. And on the other hand, someone like Carol, who's my boss, who's totally, she's all emotion, in my opinion. A lot of feeling and making a person feel good is very important. She's a psychologist. He could relate completely with her. She is so totally,
opposite
in awe.
Opposite of him.
Huh?
Was she opposite of Swami Dayanand?
No. Swami Dayanand was everything. He was this also and that also.
That also, yeah.
Yeah, he learned. She used to teach Swami Dayanand about how modern psychology can inform. And she said, because Swami Dayanand once asked her, she said, मेरे को एक बार स्वामी जी ने पूछा, Carol, I go to the West, all these people talk to me about depression. Can you tell me what is depression? So Carol said, she realized that he's not joking. He actually didn't know what depression is. In India, loneliness, depression, now there's a lot of depression. But, a person who's well adjusted, who's fine, he realized that he didn't understand a lot of the things that people who are students are facing. So he asked her, and she taught him. And then she said he incorporated more psychology into his teaching than even Carol was doing. So he tried very hard to be a good teacher to different kinds of people, and because of that, his personality changed. So now he's the kind of person who he did so much. He created 3 different ashrams, and did so much for poor in India. I mean, it's all because of his intense sort of desire to become better and better and better. He's a very ambitious person in his own way.
The same person is the same you talk about is Swami Tadatmanand, who wrote all the things.
Tadatmanand's boss. Yeah, that's it.
Tadatmanand's boss.
Yeah, let's look at Tadatmanand now. Tadatmanand is a very logical kind of a guy. He's an engineer. But you can see by reading his book how much in awe of Swamiji he is.
Are they both people alive?
No, Swami Dayanand has passed away.
So, but recently.
He died in 2013.
Oh. And Tadatmanand was.
Tadatmanand is alive. He is here in the UK, in the US.
Okay. So
Carol is alive. Carol is here.
Carol has been able to meet. She's been blessed to have met Swami Dayanand there.
Yeah. She met him when she was like 20 years old or something, and she was with him through the end of his life.
And does she do teachings on Zoom and all that too?
I don't know. Kiki, does she do now still?
Yeah, she does.
Carol? Okay.
Twice a week.
Much. मैंने शुरू में उनके साथ करा था, लेकिन उसके बाद then I just went out on my own.
She's not doing these regular. Yeah, I mean, she has Zoom classes, but they're not, organized and following a text like she used to before.
She's there. She's living there?
She lives here in California.
Kiki, didn't we go to her class one time?
You did. You guys came with me once.
Yes.
Both of you came with me once.
Yeah, and she came to one of the parties at
Yeah. Nittu's. She came to Nittu's birthday.
That's right. Okay.
Or something.
And now I remember her. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember at all?
You don't remember that? No, we did that. I remember very well.
Yeah, you're right, Suresh Bhaiya. Good memory.
That's what we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because she's a therapist, she can actually bring a lot of that to her practice. So a lot of her Vedanta class is actually almost like therapy, in the sense that she talks about inner child work and all that, which has nothing to do with Vedanta, really speaking. But it's what helps.
Nittu, you're also on your way to becoming a therapist now. Like you're getting a lot of.
I'm learning from ChatGPT.
And Vidur, maybe.
And Vidur.
Yeah.
Yeah, after the class.
These two is, I think, very strong.
Anji?
The combination of this is very strong. Psychology and philosophy.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Swami Dayanand.
Truly.
Literally, that's what he is. He's like and very high on both. He the kind of way he writes. He was saying the what happens in India. He was describing, how in the West there are problems because children don't get love. कहते हैं, in India, a child gets a lot of laps to sit on. He said he'll sit on his mother's lap. If his mother is busy, he'll go and sit on his auntie's lap. Otherwise, he'll go sit on his grandmother's lap. That's exactly what I did. बेजी की लैप होती थी, बहनजी की लैप होती थी. वो नहीं होती थी तो कृष्णा मम्मी होती थी या कोई होता था. There were many laps to sit on. And all used to give you a lot of lard and pyar. And they all used to feed you and do all kinds of things for you. So that kind of fills something in you which is so basic that if you don't get that when you're younger and you're just ignored as a child, then it creates a lot of problems later on in life. It's just a simple thing like that. And he kind of said why that is important and how that needs to be resolved first before you can start thinking about
Yeah.
spirituality, things like that. So he says things in very simple ways. And Carol used to tell us, his class used to be fun. People were laughing all the time. And then suddenly one insight, जैसे मैंने कहा ना, now and then, now, here and now. Now I went about it in an elaborate way, ये वो करके. He would have a lot of fun with it. People will laugh, he'll make jokes, and then suddenly he'll drop one insight. And because when you're laughing and having jokes and fun, then everybody is open. Then you're listening. And then after some time, he'll drop another insight. So it was a very structured, measured, strategically, psychologically mature a way of teaching. That's how he taught. So he's known in India as the teacher of teachers. That's what he's called.
What is one book you might recommend, Nitu, from him?
Let me see. I've got plenty. I'll see which one. But this Gita is all written by him. These are basically, you can see him, you can read, if you read through these Gita books, you can actually see him talking in the class. It's in his kind of words. He speaks, just the way he speaks. So that's why, in Tadatmanand's book also, Swamiji's, he said we were all waiting eagerly for him to come and teach us. Although it was all a heavy subject and all, but they were all waiting because he made it so much
wait
fun.
for him to come to take the class.
Wait for him to come.
Which book has Tadatmanand written, Billu, that you were talking about?
The Roar of the Ganges.
Oh. Not read anything.
I think Rajinder Bhaiya had given that book to Mummy and she brought it once. And that is how my entire thing began. That's how I found Carol. I didn't even know her. I found her through emailing to Datmanand.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there was a problem and you solved it. Right, Kiki?
Yes.
What do you mean?
But I mean, there was an issue came in front of you. You want to learn something more, so you need a solution.
Yeah.
So she talked to Tadatmanandji.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And solved it, yeah.
Yeah, so you are referred to her because you are looking for a solution.
Right.
Nitu, you get off the recording.
Okay.
Okay. Let's ask you, how's Rajiv doing?
Yes.
Okay, good.